Good morning, guys. We are on our way to round 6 GNCC, I believe. We are going to Powerline Park in Ohio. There is rain in the forecast. Rain, pretty sure happened last night. Rain today, rain tonight, rain Saturday, rain Saturday night, some more rain Sunday morning. So, looking like some good Ohio mud. Just like the song Ohio goes. There's nothing wrong with Ohio except for all the rain and the snow. Every time.
On the track, he lets our riders know 1 minute. 1 minute. 4 to 5. 8 to all. Cash twist. You're so close. That's all that matters. Don't worry. You got points, though, buddy. You got all here. Tires on here. I see the dots on there. Oh, yeah.
And then Abby's just laughing at him.
You ain't gonna get a new boot.
Taking the bike over.
Yeah. Breaking my knee.
It is Saturday night at round 6 GNCC in Ohio. It rained pretty much all day today. A combination of like downpours and steady and sprinkles, and it finally quit, but there's more rain on the way. Supposed to have more overnight, supposed to have more during the morning, including during my race. So it's wet. It's definitely wet. I'm gonna try to not make a mess here. I am definitely making a mess. There is a lot of people that left. I don't think I've been to many GNCCs where I've actually witnessed this many people leave. And it wasn't just quad racers. It was definitely some dirt bikers in there too. So yeah, right now I am making one of my concoctions. We have Liquid Death Mountain Water Sparkling paired with Element salt packets, good for hydration. We sell it at the shop, so hit me up if you use this and want to start buying from us. You absolutely can. And I am also putting in here, because I think it sounds amazing right now, First Form Formula 1 Protein Loop D Fruit. This is my OG protein powder. It's the first ever First Form protein powder flavor I've ever bought, and it is so dang good. Like, so dang good. You just gotta try it. And if you want to try any, hit me up and I will get you in to try some. I'm gonna do a scoop and a half just for the flavor. I'm kind of feeling it. I haven't ate a ton today, just not really hungry. I didn't bike the track. I tried to walk the track. That was a disaster. I did it after the morning quads were done, right before the PM took off kind of thing, and it was so slick. I got into the woods, I don't know how far, but it got to the point where I didn't think I could walk up this hill, and I didn't know what my options were, if I was to crawl or like what I was supposed to do there. So I just decided I was gonna figure out how to get back to the van and call it good and hope for the best. I came here with a Bridgestone X31 and I decided to put a X20 on. So I heard in the pits that there are a lot of pros running sand tires. This one is not a sand tire, but it has a wider spread lug than the one I had on, so it should be better than what I had. And the Bridgestone guys here, they agreed. So other than that, I just kind of chilled out. Had a kind of gloomy day in the rain, but you know, we're here to dance in the rain, because can't change the weather, you can only change your attitude, and it's gonna be a dang good race. Okay, that was the first time I tried Watermelon Element with Fruity Loop First Form Formula 1 powder, and I'm here to say that is probably the best concoction I've ever made. Like, good. Fun little fact, this is a TINS unit because I went a very long time period with not training mobility and stretching, and it finally caught up to me, because of my activity level, because of my choices, because of crashing dirt bikes, you know. And looking back, I remember being told all the time, people stressing about mobility, stressing about training full range of motion and this and that, and I just like never really took it in fully, and I wish I would have. So this is your reminder to stretch, train mobility, full range of motion on your lifts, and practice good form. Core work is very, very important. Some of the reasons for back pain is underactive glutes, or your hip flexors are tight, or your core's weak. Just it all intertwines and goes together. And like I knew that, but like I was religious for a long time, and then I just thought I was Superwoman or something, I don't know, and just didn't do it the way it needed to be done. And I think I was putting more focus on like my injury and like whatever, because like my wrist, it took a long time before I felt like I could fully train without being in excruciating pain. And by that I mean like 2 years, so like as in like this last year. So don't neglect it. Put it into your routine. I have started to do yoga at a minimum of 3 times a week. I have started to do breathing exercises. I've went back to doing foundation training, which you should look up on YouTube. It's about breathing and like breathing through your body and in certain forms, and I don't know, it's good. I think everybody should do that. And I think you should stretch daily and warm up properly. Like there's just so many factors, and if you try to cheat the system, it will catch up to you. So yeah, anyway, long story, this is a TENS unit and I have to use it every day and go to the chiropractor quite often, but we are getting better every day. I am reading my book, and here is a very good quote. Everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise. Kobe Bryant.
Very good last 2 rounds. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that.
Round 6 Powerline Park race report. I figured what is more fitting than doing my race report video covered in mud from washing my bike, almost busting my butt walking as I'm washing my bike because it's freaking clay and it's slick, and if you were there you know what I mean. And yeah, so anyway, I've washed the bike for now 2.5 hours. I'm finishing up a couple things, is like the parts that I took off. I still gotta wash. I gotta wash all of my gear, a couple other things, and make sure I actually got all the mud off, because it's kind of, I don't know, whenever you stare at something for so long, sometimes you miss a couple spots, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, so race report. We knew it was gonna rain. It was in the forecast. We knew it was gonna rain a lot. We knew it was gonna be tough. We knew it was gonna be hard. I knew what I signed up for. I chose to do it, so quitting was not an option. And yeah, so rained Friday night, rained all day Saturday, a little more Saturday night, and a smidge bit sprinkle Sunday morning. So the trail was wet, to say the least. It was slick, to say the least. I watched vehicle after vehicle after vehicle get towed out Saturday. I was mind blown at how many people were not there on Sunday versus was there on Saturday, because the parking lot don't empty out like that ever. So I knew it was going to be bad. In Ohio and rain do not mix. We know this, but it always rains in Ohio. So anyway, Sunday morning, race time rolls around. We were on some kind of delay. I don't really know how long, because I really wasn't paying attention to the time. I was just rolling and going with the flow. I got off to a decent start. Like right off the line, I was probably like 5th or 6th, but there was a crash in the first corner and a crash in the second corner, and I just tried to pay attention, keep my head up and see where they were falling at and where I could go around to have an easy out. I started on the outside to try to be closer to the grass because I knew that was going to be the most traction instead of all that slosh, and that worked in my advantage because that's how I was able to see what was happening in the first corner on the inside. And same with the second corner, I was able to see it. So I went into the woods 2nd place, and it was just kind of a free-for-all shit show after that. Like, I didn't really pay attention to what place I was in. I didn't pay attention who was coming or going. I was just trying to ride loose, keep my head up, and be smart. And the first lap was far better as like condition-wise than the second lap, and I pretty much didn't have any issues up until I got stuck in a rut, and it was a pretty deep one. I think if I would have had more momentum, it wouldn't have been that bad, but I followed somebody through that, and they kind of stuttered, I guess, maybe. I don't know what the right word I'm trying to think of is, but so my speed wasn't as good as what it needed to be, and I kind of knew that, but I thought maybe I could get it. But anyway, did not go my way, and some kid also followed me into this and started chewing me out because I got him stuck, even though he's the one that followed me through that same line. I didn't make him do that, so I was kind of pissed off at that, especially since this kid was cussing every other word, screaming, raising hell, F this, F that, and yeah, I get the heat of the moment, but whatever. He finally made a big enough scene that somebody else actually helped him. Meanwhile, I was trying to grab sticks and logs, and I don't know, because I couldn't physically lift it, and that kind of pissed me off, to say the least, because I've been strength training, and obviously I need to keep trying to get stronger to be able to lift a bike with I don't know how much mud was on it out of a rut. And anyway, so I just thought, you know, I've heard this saying about using like a stick to kind of weasel its way out, and I grabbed a big stick. Anyway, the clay was so thick it got stuck and like whatever, and some weirdo on a electric Stark rode up to me, and I say he's a weirdo. He's actually one of my friends, and his fiance, or not fiance, they got married, sorry, wife is super cool, super nice. I consider her a friend too. So anyway, he came to my rescue, but I was talking shit on the start line that he wasn't gonna catch me and whatever. So my first response was, man, I hate to see you, but I am sure glad you are here, because he pulled over in the middle of his race to help me and get me out. And his first question is, do you want me to delete this out of my video? And I said, no, you caught me, you passed me, you're helping me, you've earned this shit. Put it in there, I don't care. Because the last time this happened, I got a lot of phone calls at the shop saying, oh, I seen you in some electric guy's video. Yeah, let's not talk about that. But anywho, they're great people, and I was super thankful he took the time out of his own race to help me get through that. So anyway, that was towards the end of the track, and then we got to all the field stuff, and the fields were probably like worse than anything. They were so slick, so damn slick. I don't even know what words to even describe how slick. So anyway, went through scoring, said I was in 4th, down by like 11-ish minutes, but in a mud race, that, I mean, you can make that up like that. So anyway, within the first couple miles, I seen the girl that was right in front of me. She was in 3rd, and she had 11 minutes on me like 2 miles ago. So that's what I mean. That's how quick you can catch somebody, especially if they're having issues and whatever. So you're always in it, and you need to keep your head in it, because it doesn't matter until you reach the checkered flag. So anyway, I didn't pass her, but meanwhile I heard another girl cheering, and it was the girl that was in 2nd. I guess she broke down, so now that put me in 3rd, and I was right with 2nd place. And I don't really remember how I lost her, but I do know about at the halfway point there was a field before this hill that had like 50 riders stuck on it. I crashed in the field, and it literally took all I could to get my bike back up. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to pick it up. It was so heavy and stuck inside the clay. Like, it was so hard. I don't know. I just told myself that I was and I somehow mysteriously got the strength to get that thing picked up, and I ended up going towards the grass to try to get my tires cleaned out a little bit, because I knew there was a bottleneck and I knew it was a hill. And yeah, so anyway, whenever I got over there, I took a open line and I crashed and I picked it back up. It was not that hard to pick it back up, but at that point I started throwing up and my whole body felt like a noodle, and I'm like, shoot, like, what am I gonna do? And I just kept telling myself, you're a bad, and over and over and over again, reminding myself I can do this, and this, I'm fine, it's whatever. And like, I felt like I entered into what some might call the pain cave, and that's where, like, you gotta flip the switch where your body is like no longer functioning and go straight to the mental side. And that is literally how I got through the next 6 miles, because they said our track was 10 miles. I don't know, I really have no idea. That's what they said. But anyway, so I made it to the top of this hill, and then little did I know, you ride across another field, another mud hole, and another hill. And I didn't have troubles on any of these spots on the first lap, so I was confused on what was even happening. And like, the track got so much worse, like so much harder. Like, if first lap was a level 4 or 5, second lap was a level like 30 on a scale 1 to 10, like insane. So anyway, I seen the girl that was in second again, and she was in an open line, but she was struggling to make it up it, and I'm like, hey, you got this, you can do it. And so she finally made it up, and now it was my turn. There was 2 guys there that were like trying to coach me through it, like, do this, and trying to help me through the way, picking my bike up. I crashed 3 times, and then finally I got far enough up it that they were able to just drag me to the top, which was great. But like, mind you, not even a mile ago I was throwing up. So like, I was still not in the right head, barely could function, barely, no strength. And the rest of the miles left was, I felt like an episode of Survivor or Alone in the Woods, because later in the race, as it gets closer to, it's time for the PM race to start, and you're like one of the last ones out on the track. I was not the last one, I was not with Final Sweep, but like, the woods were thinned out. So it was like, what am I gonna do? And so I just kept telling myself, ride loose, let it slide, hang on, go with the flow, you got it. And like, that worked a couple times, but not all the time. And I finally made it to the last stretch of field, and that I thought was going to be the death of me. Like, I thought the throwing up was bad enough, but no, I crashed in this field 4 times. 4 times. First time I can't get the bike up, somebody comes and helps me, gets me dug out of the bushes, because of course whenever I'm crashing I'm sliding into the trees, and so they get me out and I have to get back on track, and I go maybe 100 yards. I crash again, and like, I'm trying to pick it up, and I hear some people yelling, go help her, you know, they just helped her back there, and she obviously can't get it, and something about that triggered, and I picked it up. I don't even know how, because I'm telling you, I still feel like a noodle. So I get on it, I get going again, and I crash again. I think there was a little bit of woods and then like another field, but I crashed again, what felt like not even a couple minutes later. And so I can't get it up, and some guy, it's a dad of a girl in my class, came and helped me, and he was stressed out because he hadn't seen his daughter yet. She hadn't even made 1 lap, and like, he was like telling me about that, and I wasn't in a big rush because I just couldn't function or move. And so anyway, he helped me, and I was trying to tell him like, everything's gonna be okay, they'll find her, I'm sure she's fine, it's really tough out there. And Anyway, so he gets me picked back up, and I'm trying to get myself straightened out, and the girl that was in 4th catches up, and she stops right in the middle of like where I'm at, where I can't take off, which is fine because I wasn't going to at that moment. And she looks at me and she says, I don't want to pass you like this. And I said, just go, just go. I'm about ready to die, I think, like bad. So anyway, I get going again, and it was maybe 0.2 of a mile between there and the finish. She put 2.5 minutes on me. That is how bad off I was. So I get to the finish, I finish 4th, and I get to my van, and Brock and Lindsay are there, and they're trying to like ask me questions, and I'm like not really sure how to answer because I don't know how I feel, and I am in shock and whatever, and I don't know. I guess I was in a bad enough way. Lindsay thought I might faint, kind of thing, and so we got some electrolytes in me, and I was stuck and had to wait to get towed out. So that gave me time to kind of recoup a little, to get a little safer to drive, and I felt like I was safe to drive by the time we got out, but I did not get towed out. I had 4, 5, 6 kids, I don't know how many, push me out, and I'm very thankful for that. And that was a great thing that they wanted to do. So yeah, I got out, I got on the road. Monday I felt like death, and today I'm kind of coming back to life. Today's Tuesday. I don't really know when I'm going to post this because I have a lot of stuff to do. We got a busy week ahead. I got the 9-hour off-road cup race on Saturday, and then Sunday I fly out to California. I'm there through Tuesday, and then Ironman Hoosier, whatever it is the following weekend. So it's like bam, 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 plus bike work, cleanup, and yeah. So I think that's really all I got to say. I had a good weekend, despite the rain, it being cold, the cleanup, the toughness. But honestly, if you quit races like that without like having a complete bike failure or something injured on you, you're quitting on yourself, and it gets easier to do it every single time. So if you can find a way to use your mind, your brain, the mental side of things to finish the race, it's going to get you through. And I did what I needed to do. I had a solid points day. The class is super, super close in points, so it keeps it very exciting. I think there's about 6, 7 of us that are really, really close. So it's an exciting year. We've reached the halfway point, and I am looking forward to some Indiana dirt, rain or shine. I don't care. Here for it. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and like our video. Follow us on social medias at Bonecutter Off-Road. You never know what we're up to. And yeah, I'm gonna finish washing my gear now before it gets dark.